Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Jahan, and today I'm going to be giving you 5 quick life lessons from the Tinder Swindler and Inventing Anna. So if you like this type of thing, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like because it really helps my channel. So the Tinder Swindler is obviously a Tinder con artist that managed to swindle many women across the world at millions of pounds. And Inventing Anna, very similar. She was a fake German heiress that came to New York and swindled friends and businesses out of lots of money. So I wanted to give you some life lessons based on these two, and you can catch the stories all on Netflix as well if you want more details, and there's also lots of documentaries on YouTube too that cover both of them in a more of a concise way. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is love bombing, investing too quickly, and it's too good to be true. So these ideas, when you look at both of these people, if you look at Anna and Simon, who's a person from Tinder Swindler, is that very early, straight on, they put this idea of an amazing lifestyle, money, anything you want, you can have it, onto either friendship or a relationship. And when something happens which is too quick, too soon, it's a really good idea to pause and stop and think, is this real? And yes, there will be people who have this type of lifestyle, but even if they are those people that have that type of lifestyle and they're not con artists and this is the way they live, it's always a good idea just to stop and pause and say, okay, I've just met this person. Is this a lot? It's a bit the same way as somebody who tells you their life story in their first meeting. Sometimes it can make you feel uncomfortable, and that feeling shouldn't be different for when somebody offers you goods and services straight away without really building any relationship with you. Ask yourself, why are they doing this? This all feels a little bit intense too quickly. This is something that you might do when you know somebody a lot better or you've known them for a period of time. Just ask yourself those sensible questions, because it's really easy to get swept up in that moment and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to go on a private jet here, or I'm going to stay in this fancy hotel over here. And that kind of love bombing, getting you in, drawing you in, promising you the world, can very quickly changes into the reality of the actual situation. So if somebody offers you something very quickly, which is so grand in either friendship or relationship, very quickly, early on, stop, pause and think, does this make sense? How do you decline politely so you can still leave the door open whilst you're doing your own due diligence on that person? And just think, is this going to end well, and what is the rush? So the next one is really obvious. Really, when you think about it, it's like financial lending, and it is, don't lend anybody money that you don't expect to ever see back again. Because when you give somebody money, there's always that chance that they will say, I don't have it, I can't get it, I'm sorry that my money's coming through but it hasn't come through yet. All the excuses could come and you could never see that money again. And that's whether you're lending somebody a little or a lot. You need to ask yourself, can I afford to lose this type of money? Can I afford never to see £250,000 again, or £10,000 again, or £100 again, or £10 again, whatever it is? You need to ask yourself, can I afford never to see this again? And if you can afford never to see it again, then lend it. If you can't afford never to see it again, then don't lend it, because there is always that possibility, and a high possibility, that you will never see that money again, especially if you're going to lend it to somebody that you don't really know. Even if you lend it to people that you do know, this is a high possibility, and friendships and relationships get ruined by this kind of thing all the time. And if you are really good friends and you really want to help a friend out and it is a large sum of money, then make it a legal document, make it legally binding that somebody has to pay you back. Put something in there that guarantees you your money back so it doesn't ruin the friendship. And if they are a really good friend, they'll understand why you're going down that legal route, because money and friendships in that way really don't mix, and it can become messy and ugly very quickly. And it sounds a bit harsh, it sounds a bit cold, but this is the reality of when you're dealing with money. People get really funny, and it's just not worth mixing the two when it comes to friendships and things like that. So I would advise very strongly, especially when you first meet somebody, never hand over money. And when it comes to dating and it becomes to making new friends, if a new friend or a new partner And I would say anything in the first year or so is asking you for money, large sums of money. It's a major red flag. If they're asking you to take out bank loans, if they're asking you to risk your own credit or risk your financial stability to help with theirs, it's a massive red flag. And even though somebody can seemingly have the money, stop and think really, if they had the money, would they be asking you? If they had the money, would they be asking one lone person when they have access to banks and financiers and lots of institutions that could pick up the money and give them the money? Because if they really had the money in those places, they're not going to want to lose their customer. They're going to make provisions or help with overdrafts or whatever to help their clients. So why would they be coming to you? Ask yourself that question. Don't fall for it. Don't hand over money, especially when you don't know what the money is being used for. You don't want to be part of any crime or anything else. So don't hand over money when people are asking you, especially in the early stages of relationships and friendships. The third thing I want to mention is something that I don't really feel like was highlighted enough on the Tinder Swindler, and that is safety. If somebody asked me to go on a private jet with them, gave them my passport details, so they had my identity, and go on a private jet with them, however glamorous or exciting it might feel, I wouldn't be going anywhere. Am I going to get unalived on this trip? Is something going to happen to me whilst I'm there? Is my identity going to get stolen? It's like there's too many for me, that is too many red flags. Putting myself in danger, going to a country I don't know, don't speak the language, haven't got people around me that I feel comfortable with. These are just massive red flags. And I think even though something seems glamorous and people, they pull on the heartstrings of emotions, of human connections by offering these things and making it sound glamorous, think of your own safety amongst all this. Unfortunately, a really sad story is around even women that have put safety precautions in place and things don't end well for them on online dating, and you really do what you can to keep yourself safe. Speak to your circle, let your family know, have your location on so people know where you are, and they know if you haven't heard from you from a certain time, they should contact you. Even if you're fine, just let them know that they've been contacted, because it lets the other person know that somebody is looking out for you whilst you're not with them. So you need to make sure that you're letting people, don't do things in secret, let people know who you are and keep yourself safe, because your safety is the most important thing. The fourth thing I want to mention is just around human quality. Is one thing I noticed while watching both documentaries was just the amount that glamour and status and money and the whole thing, just nobody mentioned human qualities. Everybody mentioned, oh, there's somebody that I just wanted to be around, they're exciting, there's such a glamorous lifestyle, they know the right people, but nobody mentioned things like I've got to know them, they've got a really good heart, they come from this kind of family, and they've got a sibling like this, and the way they talk about this. But nobody mentioned values, just deeper values other than superficial stuff. And that for me is a massive red flag when you're either forming friendships or finding somebody that you're a partner that you want to be with. Do their values match your core values? And is it somebody that is just a value that's sustainable throughout a long-lasting friendship or relationship? And these are questions that you need to ask yourself, because all the shiny gold stuff and all that lifestyle, whether it's real or not, eventually, again, that becomes normal and it wears thin, and it's about the person. So you need to really get to know the person and know the heart of the person to find out whether, yes, it's a person that I want to remain friends with, or we've got something in common and we can add value to each other's lives and in a positive way, or this is a relationship that I want to build on because he shares my core values, not because he can offer me a lifestyle of money and private jets. And I think that's a really important question to ask yourselves from both examples. When you see the fact that they've tugged on human emotion along with the glamour to deceive people, you can see that it's such a red flag. It's all too much too soon, and it's all smoke and mirrors. So you have to be really aware of that when you're looking at people. Don't just look at the outer exterior, really think about the core values as you're getting to know people, and take your time. Lastly, it's about your circle. So look at your circle, think about your circle when you are performing friendships, like with Anna Delvey. People just, again, like I mentioned, base their judgment on who she knows, who she's connected to. Look at the money, look at the bags, how she dresses. She's not a civilian, as one of the lines come from the show that somebody mentions. And you've got to think about, really, are they Friday night friends? And Friday night friends are great. Like, you have a drink with them, you have a laugh with them, and that's it. They're not people that you call or rely on for help. They're not people that necessarily build you up or encourage you, or that you build up and you encourage and you challenge each other and they call you out or you call them out, that kind of thing. They're not really true friends. So those Friday night friends, they are red flags if this behaviour starts happening amongst them. And I think once you're forming relationships and forming friendships, make sure it's not a Friday night relationship, somebody that just calls on you when they need you, or relationships or friendships that are just there for just a good time but not through the hard times or anything like that. And learn from the mistakes of some of the victims that surrounded themselves, especially by Anna. The women that surrounded themselves by her, they got burnt because they were fooled into thinking that she cared, when really she cared about the end goal and her success in all of this. She doesn't see that she's done anything wrong or she hasn't manipulated anybody. It's all about her end goal. And if you surround yourselves with people that just are inward thinking, are Friday night friends, are there for the good times and just take and never give back, then you will experience some kind of hurt, whether it's on a large scale, like shown in those documentaries, because they are real lives. These are real lives and real life people that have been hurt, or whether it's on the smaller scale when you feel the disappointment of people that don't give back and give and take in relationships. You're still going to feel some kind of hurt, which is unnecessary, just by taking a step back and recognizing who in my circle, who are the Friday night people that don't mind having a drink with, and who are the ones that are taking advantage of a situation. So I hope you enjoyed some of these life lessons. If you've watched these documentaries and some of the people or situations resonated with you or made you feel a certain way, let us know below, because apart from the stories, I find the whole psychology of looking at the people that are around them and how they were so easily influenced and manipulated by these characters, I find that really fascinating. And there's some really good interviews with psychologists online of why these sort of things have happened and how to avoid these situations too. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.